Jamie's out this week, as you can tell. She's couldn't make it happen with her schedule. She's a very busy gal. She's on a primetime network sitcom show.
I'll just say what really happened. She lost electricity in her house and she's not at home.
Is that still the issue?
That's what she said. She said there's no electricity, no Wi-Fi, no air conditioning, no nothing. It's like 100 degrees in Texas.
Texas is crazy because every time I hear about it, depending on who I'm talking to, it's either the most like evolved place or it's like the most backwards place.
Yes,
specifically Austin.
I think it's both.
Yeah. When I was there, if I was hit with like either a flash freeze or like this immense heat, it'd be difficult. Luckily, we went when it was only 100 degrees.
I can't hear flash freeze from you and not imagine like a comic book thing. You know what I mean?
You're a dork. Yeah, nerd.
No, yeah.
Do you hear what's going on with the guy who plays the Flash, Ezra Miller?
I don't know anything about what you just said.
Dude, there's this actor, he plays the Flash in all these Warner Brothers DC movies. And he's been getting like arrested, it feels like, every other week. And it looks like he's slowly going crazy. He kidnapped someone. It's like serious stuff. And it's almost like Warner Brothers should cancel them because he has this like big movie coming out. And everyone's trying to wonder if the movie's going to make it or not. And amidst all the stuff that they've been canceling recently, because Warner Brothers, Discovery acquired Warner Brothers. And so Discovery is like just chopping heads. They're canceling movies or shelving movies. They filmed a Batgirl movie that had Michael Keaton's return in it. His first time Michael Keaton's ever dressed up as a Batman in a movie since. They shelved the movie. Brendan Fraser was in it, shelved the movie. There's all this stuff that's happening, but amidst all these cancellations, Ezra Miller's Flash movie is still a go-ahead, and the guy's getting arrested every other week.
Cancel culture, man. You can't even kidnap people anymore.
You can't even kidnap anyone without somebody being upset, that person's parents or loved ones.
When I was a kid, man, you could just take anybody.
Yeah. Now, Ezra Miller's... he's going through it. I wish I knew exactly what was going on, but we're watching somebody. It's one of these things where we're watching somebody slowly unravel and become a crazy person. And since that person's like in the public eye, it's like really weird, invasive. And we probably know too much about this kid.
Are all the jokes that like he's the Flash, but he's slowly going crazy?
No, I haven't seen that joke once. That's why you got to be out there. That's why you got to be on those stages.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we went to see, what did we do? Was that last night? No, 2 nights ago, right?
It was 2 nights ago.
We went to see Christina P., Tom, Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah, they were great. Mommy Jeans was invited us out to come see her and Tom.
She was fantastic.
And obviously killed, there was a packed house, main room in the Comedy Store. That was your second time at the Comedy Store, or you said second time in a comedy club, period?
Second time at a comedy club, first time at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It was like riding a bike.
Yeah, you picked up right where you left off.
Yeah.
Everyone was super funny. Jeselnik just crushed. You really had some stuff. He stayed with you after we left. You're like, man, that was good.
Well, just because like one of the only other times I've ever seen comedy besides that, I saw him, and it was maybe over 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Like, I don't even know. And just like, like, I don't know. I think because I'm so like neurotic, when somebody starts a joke, my brain goes to like, where's the punchline? Where's the punchline? And then with him, it's like almost every time I'm like, I don't even like, I surrender, because it's just like, I don't know. I never know what he's going to say. I never know where it's going. Like, I never know. You don't know. Not only do you not know what the punchline is going to be, but also I never know when it's coming.
Right.
Like some of his jokes are like 3 lines and other ones are like long. So it's just, there's no like cadence to me that I pick up.
Totally. He's very, concise with his words, and he will subvert whatever punchline you think is coming. And it's a dark humor that's like, I wish we saw more of. A lot of it's like, babies dying. He had a whole section on trans, which was funny, which is always so like touchy these days, but it wasn't, making fun of a group. It was just like his version of it. But there was just a lot of there's just a lot of stuff. If it wasn't him and he wasn't doing it in that style, just wouldn't work. He's got such a cool persona, and it looks like he was trying some new stuff too. So yeah, I've never seen him not kill in a room.
I feel like a lot of people have that style now of like, oh, people don't want me to say this, but I'm gonna do it. Like that's the kind of like comedic thing where with him, like, he doesn't act that way. You know what I mean? He's not like, oh, what I just said was bad. He's like, yeah. He's like, that's right. You know, he's like, that's why I'm the best. Like, you know, he says shit like that. He's just like, I don't know, so like unapologetic and good. But like, you know what I was saying to you when we left is like, if you're an agent or a manager and you go see, like, you go to the comedy store and like you see somebody and you're like, okay, I could see this guy be this, or like, oh, he could have a sitcom, or to me, if you're an agent, like you go to Jeselnik after and you're just like, yeah, whatever you want to do. Like, what do you want to do? You want to write? You want to be in a sitcom? You want to have a podcast? You want to do like whatever it is, I'm in.
Well, so what do you think that is? Because he has been very good for a while now, you know, and it's so why haven't we seen him star in movies or have his own sitcom? Or that's got to be a personal choice, I imagine. Right. Or maybe his skill set doesn't sort of go past stand up in that way.
It's funny because when I say like he could do anything, the one thing that I'm like, I don't know, is like movie star, you know, like I don't see him as being like, oh, you want to digest him in like, you know, this 83-minute movie. Like it's more so like I could see him be on a TV show and people just like grow to. I'm sure he had his own TV show or whatever, but I could also see him as a guy who like, he's like, I don't want to do this shit. Like, but I don't know him. I've never met him.
Yeah. I remember when him and like Amy Schumer popped at the same time. They were like dating, I think. Right. And she went on to do really well when it came to like shows and movies. I feel like that's more where her strength is. I don't think she's the greatest stand-up, but I think he's so good at stand-up. But he's in full, complete control of what he's doing and saying up there. And I wonder if he's, you know, working on a movie or on a show where he doesn't have full, complete control, if he's as effective of a guy, you know, and those skills are entirely different skills, as you know. I mean, but he was so good as a stand-up. We want to be like, yeah, whatever, could see this guy doing anything. You know what I mean? Does he sell t-shirts after the show? Let's go buy one. He's very funny.
I just did like some small acting thing recently, and like this is really all I've done, like in quote unquote the business for fucking which this isn't even in the business, but like, you know, something creative, like doing this for the last couple of years. And
but that piece of cinema that we made together.
Oh, yeah, but that was 8 years. That was way before this. That was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, and also I just don't count that period.
Well, yeah, of course. But also like that was kind of like, oh, who cares? Like I wanted to do good in this last thing I did. And like I like you just said, it was like when you don't have control, you didn't write the words, you didn't do this, coming from something like this where like we control everything. We control what time we do it. We control what we say. We control when we say it. If after we don't like it, we take it out. We're like acting, you really like you surrender to like, okay, there's like hours and hours and hours of me acting. Like you guys go and do whatever you do with it. And that's why I probably don't watch acting that I've done, because I'm like, I don't fucking know what's coming. I don't want to know, like, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't wait to see that thing that you just mentioned. I don't know when that's supposed to come out, but I know you worked your ass off for a few days.
Yeah, it was just a few days. It's like
you bled on that project.
Literally, but it's more so not about like how hard I worked or this. For me, it's just like being thrown out of my schedule, like sleeping for 3 hours, doing that, like that kind of shit is like not knowing when to eat because I'm like, oh, I don't want to shit on set. Like that's the work to me is not where I'm like, man, this I'm really, you know, it's like that. I don't mind, but it's like, oh, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and like, now my stomach doesn't feel good, and when am I going to shit? And I'm not going to eat because I'm like, you know, that's the stuff that bothers me. But the actual acting is like, whatever.
You know those guys that are like, I know a couple of these guys. It doesn't matter where they are, what time of day, they can always just shit anywhere.
It's incredible.
I mean? Like, I look at those people and I'm in awe, and I can't imagine being one of them. I like a schedule too. I don't think I'm as rigorous as you are, but like I don't take a 2 outside of my home base unless it's like a necessity. You know what I mean?
When's the last time you did?
It was at work, but even at work, it had to be right after the cleaner did the bathroom. I can't be in there after like the history, like when you visit like an old, like Civil War museum, you just feel all the people that were there before you, all the ghosts. That's kind of what I feel like when I walk into one of those stalls that hasn't been cleaned in a day or two. I need to be that first one. I need to be the first death. When
the girl I'm dating, she was like, oh, there's this book I'm reading and there's all these questions to see like if you know your partner or whatever.
Oh, great. This is always a trap. This is always, I feel like, step one of before you get into a huge argument.
See, this is why you're you and I'm me, babe. I said, I think this is amazing because anything I don't know, this is a great opportunity for me to learn about
Absolutely. You. Let's hear it. Wide open.
Well, why are you upset by this?
No, I'm going into it with your mindset. You know what I mean? Like, oh fuck! Like I got to answer these questions because you've got strong opinions about so many things, and I've got to imagine eventually one of those is going to hit her in the wrong way. Do you know?
Oh, I don't mind. I'd rather know now. Let's get it out of the way.
Well, I know you don't mind. I'm talking about this is how it happens. Just like, hey, random question. What are you thinking about? Like those are questions I don't ever feel like land well.
So she's like, oh, there's like 45 questions or whatever. And of course, like she's on question 2 and I'm like, man, me and Kass got to do this, I'm like,
oh, really? Oh, did you bring it in?
Yeah, no, I don't know if I said that to her, but in my head, I'm like, oh, because it's the same thing as like a friend fucking test, a love test, whatever it is. It's, So I'll ask you the question and you got to answer.
Test. Okay.
Yeah, our love test. I know the title of this episode now.
And at the end of this, we'll know our compatibility. Is that what this is all about?
I mean, there's a way to score it, but all I have are the questions. But I think it'll just be fun I think we'll be able to figure out our compatibility by the end of this.
I already know our compatibility. It's 100% locked up 2 dolphins.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we both got his shit at home.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. All right, now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Guys, talk therapy works. It's something that most of us here have had. We have on the regular. We talk about it on the pod. If you've always been sort of on the outside of therapy and thought it was too expensive or just too hard to find a therapist, those days are kind of gone. Now with apps like BetterHelp, you can download an app, put in your information, put in what kind of stuff that you're there for, what you want to talk about, any specific things you want to talk about, and you're matched with a therapist, a licensed therapist within 48 hours that you have access to all week. So you can actually message your therapist even before your appointment dates and get answers whenever they get around to answering them. I personally have used it. BetterHelp has been a big, big help, and especially when it's so much cheaper than traditional talk therapy. I was spending over $300 a session for talk therapy. Great guy, but it was a lot of money. And
con artist.
I always felt like for a while, that was the biggest barrier to entry for people that wanted talk therapy. And BetterHelp gives you another much more affordable option.
And let me tell you something else. A lot of people think, oh, I don't need therapy because things aren't bad right now. Things are okay, or I'm not falling, I'm not falling apart. But look, it's like those people who wait until they're 150 pounds overweight to lose weight. You have to put in, don't be like Bert Kreischer. You wait till you get that fat and then you try and lose weight. You have to put in so much more work. Where instead, if you're like, hey, I got 10 pounds overweight, let me do it now. And, you don't want to be up and down emotionally. You want to be, be at your goal weight mentally. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/pajama. That's BETTERHELP.com/pajama.
We're also brought to you today by Shopify. Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources once reserved for big business. So upstarts, startups, and established businesses alike can sell everywhere, synchronize online and in person, and just stay informed. Scaling your business is a journey of endless possibility. Believe us, guys. Jamie, who's not here, used Shopify with her podcast, Mama Said, as a point of sales. They used it to sell merch, and it gave them analytics for the people that were using their site. And it also empowers businesses that are looking to go first sale to full scale by reaching customers online using social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. It gives you insights and detailed reporting about conversion rates, profit margins, and beyond. It's more than a store. Shopify grows with you. This is a possibility powered by Shopify.
Go to shopify.com/pajama, all lowercase, for a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/pajama right now. That's shopify.com/pajama. So I'll read the questions, then we could decide, like, should we answer these or just skip it to the next one. The first one is, name my 2 closest friends.
Rex. Here's the problem with you is like every guy you talk about is your best friend. So I'm going to say Rex is one of them.
No, but Rex, I say differently.
Yeah.
Rex is like the OG best friend. And then I probably have like 4 or 5 other guys where I'm like, oh, they're like my best friend. But you know, it's Rex is one of them.
I don't know what I would say for the second one. I feel like that could be a number of different men.
It is. It's like how I feel like there's New York and then everywhere else. Like I got Rex, and then I got like a bunch of, people where it's like, if they're like, oh, like who should hit second? I'm like, yeah, whoever you give me out of this 8 people, like I'm gung ho. You're in there. Jamie's in there.
Joey's in there.
Pat's a real OG. Like Pat's,
I would now that I remember Pat, I would have said Rex and Pat probably.
Pat's a good one. Tony's a good friend. There's a bunch of people. And then, all right, for you, I would say, but I mean, I would say Omar but can you say your brother's your best friend?
Yeah, I think there's lots of people who don't have a best friend that's their brother or sister. So, I would definitely put him in there, especially if there's 2 slots. Especially like, because I like barely see him these days because he's so busy. But it's like whenever we do hang out, it's like they don't skip a beat. You know what I mean? There's no
he's your brother.
There's no guilt. No, but like
what are you talking about?
Sometimes you have people that are like, hey man, like we haven't, like, let's get lunch, like kind of guilt you into it. You know what I mean? I feel like those assholes can do that too.
Those assholes who ask like, how have you been? Those guys?
No. It's the guys that are like, geez, man, it's been like 3 months. Like, can we catch up?
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
I don't have any good friends who put a time limit on how long we haven't seen it, like they're like a window, like, it's been this long. I'm like, ugh. Yeah.
I'd say for the second one, I'm kind of in a similar boat where there's a bunch of real solid guys that could fit that. You're definitely in there. You're definitely up that ladder.
Yeah,
I can count on you for anything unless you're taking a shit.
And then still, I'll do it. Oh, I remember one time, like, you picked me up to go do the pod, and you were like, you had like your look on, like you had something to tell me, and you were like, yeah, you're my best friend. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
You were like, you're my best friend, and I was like, oh, okay. And
you're like, cool.
Yeah, and you were like,
good for you.
You were like, because I was at work today, and somebody said to me, who's your best friend? And you're like, and then I thought about it, and I said, Rob Eiler's my best friend.
Yeah, you're the one I talk to the most, and then also whenever there's something going on, I call you up.
Yeah.
And you're always, you're never like
busy
trying to wrap it up with me. You listen, you empathize, you'll give advice if you have any. And I don't really talk on the phone. Like, I don't do that with my brother. We kind of just like, there's almost like we just get it, me and my brother, because we have that sort of like, yeah, I get it. But I like when I want to talk through something and it's not a therapist, it's you.
Thank you. That's a compliment.
But I feel like you have more of those guys. I feel like you're always on the phone with someone. You know, you've got Joey, you've got Rex, Pat.
Yeah, me and Rex don't talk as much as we should. Me and Pat talk a lot. Me and Joey talk a lot. Yeah, like I talk to Joey because Joey's one of those type of people where like the phone rings, I'm just like, oh hey, what's up? And then like an hour later, like we're still just fucking laughing and like bullshitting and whatever. Mm-hmm. But like, I think a good way to like figure out who my best friends are too is like, now that you talk about it, like when my phone rings, if I'm ever like, nah, like I never. Like, actually, it's funny that we're talking about Joe Perino because, like, I was the girl who I'm dating was here for a month straight. She stayed at my place for a month straight, and like the day she left, Joe Perino just happened to call me. And then the next day, I texted him. I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "I couldn't pick up because I had COVID, but also I was like, I didn't want to talk to anyone for at least minimum 24 hours, but really I wanted like 72." You know, where like the month went great, but it's just like when you're constantly being social with somebody, and then you get that not being social with somebody, and I'm like, I need this part of I need to fully dive into this part of me who just like.
Yeah, I think it's important to establish early in a relationship that the chill sessions, moments where like you don't have to interact. Maybe you're on your phone, you're doing the things that you enjoy when you're alone, but you can do them together, separate parts of the house. When you always got to worry about having to like stoke a conversation or keep it going or like, hey, or what do you want to do? Like that can get a little boring and keeps you at a certain level. Like there's never a true relaxed moment. The true relaxed moments are like right after sex, you know, when you're in bed, and you just turn something on the TV. And
I always walk right out after sex. I can't be in the room. But yeah, I know what you mean. What
do you mean you walk right out?
The second I come, I get up, I walk out, I shut the door behind me, and I need at least 2 hours.
No. Are you serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh man.
I love that I'm crazy enough that you're like, oh really?
Yeah. No, I thought that was. Yeah, because you do have like a lot of like little things like that. So I believe it. You know, we're talking about you, the guy who stands up and eats his food out of the same bowl, the only bowl he owns, staring at the same wall every day. You know, if you said you did 2 hours, 2 hours to yourself. Well, what do you do right after? Do you just go straight to sleep? Do you like to cuddle? Do you watch stuff?
I lay there like a slob. Yeah, I just want to like. Sometimes you got to like throw the condom in the toilet and flush it, and
do
then
you go on your phone. What exactly?
Never. So just have sex. It's like I will usually like I'll either say like, oh, do you want to go pee first, or I'll go in, I'll throw the fucking condom in the toilet, I'll pee.
So you give them an option to piss.
Yeah, but I'm also not like, oh, I came and now I'm, you know what I mean? Like it'll lay there for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on where the cum went, right? If the cum is in the condom, then you can, you just do whatever. But if the cum is on someone, then you have to immediately, you want to be like, hey, I'm going to go, I'll get a little, I'm a gentleman. You get a wet rag, maybe some damp paper towels.
Toilet paper and wet wipes.
Never toilet paper, because toilet paper can, not the toilet paper that sponsors this show.
Yeah, that's exactly the one I was talking about.
That's the best toilet paper in the world. For that.
Best toilet paper for it.
For that.
Well, because what you want to do is you want to get the big mess with the toilet paper, and then you come in for cleanup with the wet wipes or a wet rag. I like the wet wipes just because it's done, it's flushed, and you're over it. The rag, it's like, well, you kind of either got to wash that right away, or like, I don't want to put that in the hamper because it's wet and has cum in it. Like, I think that gives yourself an extra chore. And I'm not. Yeah,
I only do rags at the hotel.
Yeah, there's not much options at the hotel. Hotels should have, one of the things they should be butt wipes, because it's always the thing that I have to bring or go get.
Wow.
That's just one of those things. They give you 100 Q-tips, but they give you no wet wipes. They give you a new body lotion, conditioner, shampoo every day, but no wet wipes.
And
shower
toothbrush. Come on, throw me a toothbrush worth a nickel in my room. It would go a long way.
Yeah, I don't know the guy who invented the first ever toothbrush. Those are the ones that they're using. They're like wood, like 3 bristles, and then you would either think you're brushing your teeth or you're using it on a barbecue.
So should I go to the next question, or what were we?
Was that only one question so far?
Yeah, that's why I thought these would be good for the pod.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Yeah, it might take 38 pods to get through this test, but if so be it,
And that's it. That's the whole point of this pod. It's the question pod.
It's a wide swath of show.
So this next one, question? I think this question sucks, but it's like, what is my favorite musical group, composer, or I don't know. That shit is like,
you like fist bumpy Miami music, but then you also like singers.
I don't like fist bumpy Miami music.
You like that shit I was just playing you.
No, but that's for like a very specific mood of like,
well,
if okay. But I don't like to sit around and listen to that shit. It's like if I'm going to the same way, like I don't just sit in my apartment and like blast Drake, but like I like Drake.
You like R. Kelly, you like old school Justin Timberlake. You like that stuff like, because that reminds you of like your childhood.
Yeah, but also like I wouldn't just sit around listening to that. So you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't put it on my computer and chill. Like that's kind of like
what would you sit around and chill? Because I personally, I don't know. Like it would that doesn't come to me quickly. I don't know what.
Yeah, there's more of like a vibe kind of music. Like like Codaline. These people.
No.
Have you seen this? Have you heard of this?
Codaline?
Yeah, like, but not like just like I love Codaline, but like that kind of vibe, like where it's like like the night we met, like those kind of. So we're just like there's a chill vibe.
You like romance music?
I just like a chill vibe to like. That's what I like to listen to. But like,
Coda, CODA.
Yeah.
Wow, it's got a lot of views.
Sorry, I'm not underground enough for you.
No, I just have never heard of this. I'm watching the YouTube ads now.
Mr. Pop Culture, huh?
This song's called "All I Want" Part 1.
Oh, great fucking song!
The music video here.
The video is incredible.
I don't know if I got the time to watch this, but
no. I'll do it later.
It's a guy with like a lion face.
It's amazing. It's really great, and he's like working in an office.
I feel like I got to hear the hook though.
Yeah, I just like a chill, but like road trippy kind of music.
Yeah. It's like
looking out the window.
What are those guys? The brothers that make the like the Lumineers or something like this kind of music.
Yeah, but I like all shit. But like, I probably listened to like old Justin Timberlake like 3 times in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? But it's just like.
I think it's because you're only telling me you're only showing me songs that you listen to in the gym, maybe, which is a very specific.
Well, also it's like I have
beats.
Yeah, that there's definitely like that. Let's Get Down to Business, that song, because that would get me pumped for the gym.
Let's get down to business. Yeah, that's what I think of.
Yeah, but that's not like my shit.
I know, but then there's a couple songs that you've played for me that because when you find a song you like, you play it over and over
to the ground.
Yeah,
into the ground,
which is something I kind of do too.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of live music recently, and I just bought tickets for a show on Tuesday. But would you say you'd be able to say what kind of music I like?
Yeah, I mean, I think you like that like indie kind of not like what's the word I'm looking for, like hipster, like that kind. But I think you like it. Like I think if I get into your car, I don't know if it's gonna be like some hipster shit, Rage Against the Machine, Creed. Yeah. Like you really,
I go for it.
Yeah, you go for Kanye. You're really all encompassing.
I like music. And I think it's one of those things because I can't play it and I don't have a musical bone in my body that I just like, I'm obsessed with music. Like I really like and appreciate people that know how to do that skill because it's so foreign to me. To me, it'd be easier to like learn Chinese or Japanese than to like learn to play a guitar. I was close during the pandemic. You know how many people tried to start playing guitar during the pandemic? And you tried playing keyboard, but I looked up guitar.
I bought a piano and I
put you in your place.
I had a promising fucking thing going on. And then you were like, who do you think you are? And then and then it was never the same. Like I never had the same drive for it.
Never. Every time you sat down to it, you're like, who do I think I am? I'm not going to do this. And then walk away from it.
But see, a real musician would have turned that into something beautiful.
Absolutely. And
that's why I'm not that. Yeah. That's why I'm not that guy. Instead, I just talk about it here.
Yeah. It's a good point. I do kind of go all over the place. When Kanye has a new album, I'll play that shit to death. But I'll always, like in my car, in my truck, I just drove it to lunch today. I've had the same CD in there since 2004. I got my truck in 2003. This CD's been in there since 2004. I was really into a band called Him. Do you know Him?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. A lot of people know Him from like the old CKY videos and Bam Margera, because Bam Margera was obsessed with the band. He pretty much stole the lead singer, Villavala's whole aesthetic, got the same tattoos as them, used their symbol, which is a heartogram, and used it on all his skateboard merchandise and all this shit. But that's all from a Finnish goth rock band called Him. And I made an MP3 CD in 2003 or 4, and I put every fucking Him song that was ever made and produced, and some that weren't, on the CD, and I just put it in my CD player, and it hasn't left. And so every time I get into my truck, I'm cranking Him, and I'm like, this is shit I used to listen to in the year 2000 when I was 20 years old or 19 years old, and I'm still listening to it now. I'm like, God, this is a good song. This is a lot of it. I'm like, I don't need this. But like, there's some of them I'm like, man, this is still good to me. And so I go from hipster sort of indie rock. I can go from Kanye to Finnish goth rock. I like hard, like I went through a metal phase as a kid. I mean, there's all like, but then the classics, Nirvana, Rage Against the Machine. I mean, there's all that stuff. I think there's just depends on what mood I'm in.
You know what else I feel like you like? You like a tough chick as like a singer. And whether it's like a little like rock or like punk or whatever. If there's a girl who's like, you're a fucking piece of shit, like you can.
I like singer-songwriter. So I just went last week. I saw Sharon Van Etten and Angel Olsen, which I would consider to be like strong female singers. I wouldn't say they were like, would you call them angry?
No, but I think if it was like, oh, I heard this girl who like plays guitar, sings, she wears like big socks like up to her knees and like doesn't shave her armpits, you'd be so interested.
That's Cherry Glazer. Absolutely. Yeah. I like it because it's to me it's the music, and then the persona is a whole other thing that's cool too.
Yeah, you like a girl who like spits
just on stage.
No, but even like,
it doesn't have to be on me. You're just basing that on one of my ex-girlfriends. No,
not at all. I just mean like, I think if like a girl, if you guys were like standing around waiting for an Uber and like she spit, like I think some guys would be like, ugh, where like I think you're like, yeah, I like that.
No, I think you're a little off on that, but I want to yes and that, but I also don't want to represent myself as a filthy fuck who likes filthy shit. I don't know if I would.
See, I feel like you like girls who...
No, I dated somebody who spit, and it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best.
Well, which one has been,
It's also the same person that wouldn't always wash their hands after the bathroom trip. Number 2.
Yeah, but see, you say you don't like that, but I think you kind of do. I think I think you kind of like that.
Don't like it.
Because I wouldn't put up with that.
It was like a huge pain point in the relationship. Imagine having to tell somebody.
How did you know that she didn't wash her hands after she took a shit?
Because her like siblings told me.
How do they know?
It was a whole thing, man. I couldn't believe it at first. I was like, what?
By the way, this is exactly how it went when I did these questions with the girl I'm dating.
Good. Yeah. I started thinking about when they told me that was like all the times her fingers touched my food or she handed me a thing to eat, like that's all I could think about.
People are so disgusting.
And this particular person got sick from E. coli. When I was like, I'm like, that it all made so much more sense to me.
I bet she was a big pink eye person too, right? Like, oh, just fucking Wednesday night going to dinner. She's
constantly
got pink eye.
having pink eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to look at like the trend of the relationship, like in a stock market graph, you could see that was like the point at which it was starting to trend down until we hit a crazy bottom.
What if instead of washing her hands after she shit, she just spit on them and wiped them together?
And then like, put it there.
Yeah, put it there. Like, oh, good. That was a good shit, brother.
Well, if she said that might be cool.
Yeah, see that you like she'd win you back.
Yeah, if she was Randy the Macho Man Savage.
Yeah, she'd go, I just took a monster deuce, brother. Time to spit on my mitts.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's the next question?
The next question is gay. We're not going to do it. It's
what's gay though?
Actually, I can answer this. Maybe I'm a little gay. It's what were you wearing when we first met? I can answer.
You can because you hated it.
I can answer one thing you were wearing. You were wearing a varsity jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
this is gay.
Hold on, I have it. Let me go put it on.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's it. Wow.
Remember this?
Yeah, and it just didn't go because you drove up in a Porsche wearing a varsity jacket and you were like smoking cigarettes. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, I still love this jacket. My friend John Gillen got this from Tokyo for me. And I remember he was like, hey man, I got you this thing in Tokyo. I think you'd really like it. And I like it because it is the varsity jacket in our heads is like everyone think like varsity blues. It's like football guys, Texas, whatever. It's just like kind of a macho thing. And so anytime that I feel like you could take a stereotype and change it in a way and like where I can take it as like a skinny brown guy and make it like not what it was originally is what I like about it. It's got all these patches as West Side. I was living on the West Side, still do. It says live life at the fullest to the fullest. I feel like that's a message that I wanted to send out there.
Yeah, it looks like if they started giving out varsity jackets for being on the math team, you know?
That's right.
That's
what I liked. That's what I like about it. It subverts your expectations.
Yeah, you don't know what I was wearing when we first met, but it was probably pajama-like things.
You wore like big, long T-shirts, like black T-shirts and like, were you wearing joggers back then?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you wear like black on black, you know, like a ninja.
Like Nike shorts.
But there was that bit, you know, that trend where like people wore those like sort of long shirts that like where one side of it was longer than the other.
I never had that. That's all in your head.
I don't know.
I never had that.
Well, you wore longer black T-shirts. We can agree to that.
I wore the same thing I'm wearing now. I would wear medium T-shirts.
Hold on. I think I know what. I think there's an image of you wearing a long black T-shirt.
Where? This guy's out of his
Here
mind.
it is. Oh, maybe it's a long coat with a regular size. Well, it's kind of a long T-shirt. But this is essentially in this image here. It's the like HBO Sopranos image where you got this long gray coat. Yeah, that was a really long coat, huh?
Yeah, but it's not
and a silver chain.
Yeah, but I was never like a long T-shirt kind of guy.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the shirt here. It's not super long. It's the length of the coat here that's really throwing me now.
And by the way, not even shitting on long T-shirt guys. It's just when you're short like me, if you wear a long T-shirt, you look like a baby.
Yeah.
You know, it's horrible. It's just not. That's why I knew I never wore it. Not because I'm like, oh, it's not cool. I just it looks terrible.
No, your style is very like forgettable in a good way. You know, you don't.
Thank you.
You don't. I know you'd like. I know you would see that as a compliment. You don't want to stand out.
That's what I go for.
Clean, simple, easy. An outfit you could wake up in, go get lunch with, and go to dinner with.
You know, that's why I never like took a girl's virginity because I just like I want everything about me to be forgettable. You know, the style, I just want it to be like.
That's your superpower.
Forgettable. Yeah, or the opposite.
That's
I don't
like
want to
guys in the
have.
CIA. The guys in the CIA, they train to be like you, forgettable.
Yeah, that's what I want to be. I just want to be like, oh yeah, like if I wasn't on Sopranos, it would be so much easier too to just be like to just blend in with the wall, basically.
Like right now, if you just put on black sunglasses and you went to go buy like a U-Haul truck and some fertilizer, like no one would be able to recall who it was.
Right. When they came looking for me and they were like, "Have you seen this guy?" They'd be like, "No."
No, it was what he looked like.
Oh, long t-shirt.
What does anyone look like? Do you ever see when they say that? Well, what does anyone look like? I mean, he was a guy. I mean,
yeah, pale, forgettable.
Absolutely forgettable. We got an APB out for an absolutely white forgettable man.
You'd be like, oh my God, that might be my best friend.
That's Rob. They're talking about Rob.
You just start fucking doing 90 in the Porsche 911.
Yeah.
Get me out of there.
I got a couple emails too whenever you want to get to those. Do you have a good next question?
No. Well, name one of my hobbies is one. For you, I would say video games.
Yeah, I like video games. Yeah, your hobbies will include. I mean, you like poker. I mean, it's obviously that's the easiest one. Your finances, your portfolio is something that you keep up with. You're very into water.
Big hobby of mine, water.
You like finding the best water.
Look, I'm doing one of my hobbies right now.
Yeah, that's a newer one that I've only recently been seeing you drink. You want to shout these people out? What is that? Panini?
No, I don't, because Joe Panini. I don't want to shout him out because this is not what I want to drink. It's just they don't have Poland Spring on Amazon, so I got to fucking drink this.
Oh, you're slumming it.
I know, it's hard, you know. Some people, when they look back at this pod, they're going to go, wow, he was, can't believe he made it through. You know,
you also like, you like food, but you don't, like, you like a good quality meal. Like it can really make your day or week. Like, I think 100%. We're both in the same. If you have a good meal, you'll think about it for a long time.
Well, I had a meal in Austin I've been thinking about for 2 months.
Was it the one that we went to, or was it a different one?
No. It was one I went to with the person I'm dating. It was a sushi place. That was like the most expensive sushi ever.
But we went to an expensive sushi place in Austin.
It was more.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It was more than that?
Well, because our place wasn't like order whatever you want. Our place was like, here's what you get and leave. But like this place was like, you order whatever you want. And I hadn't eaten. So I hadn't seen her in 2 weeks. She showed up to Austin. I picked her up at the airport, still haven't eaten. We go to my place, have sex, and then show up. I'm ravenous. I'm a ravenous man. And
so you had your 2 hours alone after sex. You're hungry.
I said, hey, we got to have sex at 4 because dinner's at 7 and I need the transition time.
That's right.
Yeah. So I throw away the condom. I sit facing a wall for 2 hours and then I get in the shower and get ready for dinner.
Right. Got it.
Yeah. And, it was just the most every single piece of food that like the salad from there was like, this is one of the best salads I've ever had. And it was like, the salad that was made in a lettuce leaf. So you like pick it up and the whole salad is in there and you just eat it in one bite.
Whoa.
Tremendous. And it was crazy. And like an idiot, not like an idiot, but I ordered like 8 pieces of this one sushi that was like $18 a bite.
Wow.
Crazy. But I was like,
what kind of fish was $18 a bite?
Tuna. It was toro.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't want to hear this. This is like
no. They want to know. They want to know what's possible in life.
This is like asshole stuff. Nobody wants to hear this on their way to work. Like Rob's eating 8 pieces of fucking.
If I'm a fan of Rob Eiler, I want to get to know Rob Eiler, and this is part of what's getting to know Rob Eiler. The other thing you're really into is sports, but I haven't really seen you talk too much about sports recently. Maybe it's because I don't give a shit about it, but you do love sports.
Because football season is not going on right now. We got another month and then Robbie's back.
Yeah, because you bet on those games.
Love it. Bet.
Yeah.
All of it. Yeah, I would say it says only name one. That's why I named one. But I feel like your hobbies are like video games, but then also you love movies.
Yeah.
Big movie guy.
Big on a movie.
Comic books. You love reading comic books.
Yeah.
Something I learned through you. You're a big cryptid guy.
Huge.
Love cryptids.
You can't not watch this pod and not know it. You know, it's there.
And for people who don't know, can you tell them what cryptids are?
You know, cryptids are, you know, most people will think of like a Bigfoot Sasquatch, but there's lots of cryptids, you know, Mothmans, Skinwalkers, New Jersey Devil, you know, any of these types of things that are from the cryptozoology world, things that aren't yet proven to be real.
The Jersey Devil.
Hey, you never heard of the Jersey Devil?
I know the Jersey Devils, the sports team.
Well, where do you think that comes from?
The hockey team.
Where do you think the name Jersey Devils comes from? It's from the cryptid, brother.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You sound like your ex-girlfriend.
From the cryptid, brother. Yeah. No, I like all that stuff. UFOs, aliens. I do have a lot of, I go through phases. You know, I like cars. I loved off-roading as a kid. I love, I think we named most of it, but right now it's, you know, I love a good film. I saw Top Gun twice in the theater. You know, that movie just became like the 9th or 7th or something biggest domestic movie of all time. Top Gun. Did you see it yet?
That means absolutely nothing to me.
Oh,
no, I haven't seen it. I won't see it. I don't care. I'm not a movie guy. I can't care. Like,
this is one of those things that transcends being a movie guy. It's just a fun 2 hours, nonstop action in your face, shit that you've never seen before.
Again, it's taken us 8 years to get to the best friend level. I can't care about someone in 90 minutes. Like I watch movies and I go, I don't care about any of these people. I don't care. Where TV shows are the opposite. Like when I'm on season 3 of a show, I'd rather go home and watch that show than do anything else. Like literally anything else.
Is there a show right now that you're in on?
No. When you start dating somebody and you're spending a month together, it's just like, buddy. You know, she's not a big TV person. That's the only thing that we don't have in common. She's not a big TV person, but because it's early in the relationship, I don't even notice it because we're always talking, laughing, having a good time. But I'm sure 3 years from now, if we're still together, I'd be like, I'm going to watch some TV.
Yeah, I think it's fine if she isn't a big TV person. I think if she's down to watch stuff, you get in on a show where you guys at night have something to do after dinner or something, that's cool. You know, I dated somebody who was anti-TV, which was very different than just somebody who's not into TV. I got to tell you, you don't have to date somebody where you all have everything in common, but certain things really help if you have them in common, you know? And it's the basics to me, which is do you guys want to have kids? And do you guys can you sit down and watch a TV or movie together after dinner? You know?
And both look forward to it.
Yeah, because those are things you're going to be doing so much of. You're going to go to stuff. You're going to go. Some of you are going to travel. Some of you are going to go on vacations. But those things are that's what you do in between the actual living part, which is mostly sitting at home, making dinner or eating or ordering, and then sitting on your couch and watching stuff. Are you going to sit there and look eye to eye and talk to that person all night? Maybe you'd like to think so. I had an ex who seemed to think so. That's just not realistic for most people. There's got to be something to break the tension. This wonderful quiz you brought in today. You brought it in and it spurred conversation, but we're not sitting here only talking about these questions and rifling through them. We're using it to create a conversation. And that's kind of what TV and film do. You watch something, you both have a sense of what it was that you just watched, and then you come together and you talk about it. Maybe you have different opinions. That's the best part of watching stuff with someone, is being able to see how you both interpreted that thing that you just watched. I think it's unreal.
If anyone's looking for something to watch with their boyfriend, girlfriend, this, they, them, Zimzer, watch Love on the Spectrum. To me, there is nothing better to watch with someone. Yeah, that's the best watch with someone show. To me, it's literally a 10 out of 10 to watch with somebody, because it takes you through the whole, it's like It's like going to like Disney World in a day, where it's like if you want the fucking, it's a small world where you just float around and see stupid shit, you go there. If you want the fucking intense roller coaster where you're up and down, they got that. You could go sit in a chair and watch a 3D. Like it brings you everywhere you want to go and more.
Yeah, that's right. What's the name of that intense roller coaster they got there at Disneyland?
Space Mountain.
Yeah. They got another one too, right? Indiana Jones, I think. You ever been on that?
No.
What would it take for you to go to Disneyland with me?
I would. Remember right before the pandemic, we were going to fucking Six Flags.
We were going to get Six Flags, which is like straight roller coaster, but I feel like Disneyland's a different beast because there's not a lot of roller coaster. If
you said to me, what would it take for me to go to Disneyland with somebody who I didn't like, it would be a lot. With you, I know we'd be fucking laughing all day at like fucking 400-pound people on automatic wheelchairs falling off the curb and shit. We'd have a blast.
Yeah, we'd go there for the people watching. And that's where all the people congregate.
Yeah, I'd buy you a balloon with another balloon in it.
Yeah, wow, we'd share a turkey leg.
Yeah, some fucking cotton candy, boom.
Yeah, we got to get one of those. We got to get a trip in. I feel like our Six Flags trip was fun, but since we already did that, we should go do another one. I just went to Universal.
We didn't go to Six Flags.
No, I know, but we did. We have gone to Six Flags together.
What?
Didn't we go?
No, we were supposed to go to Six Flags, and then COVID shut everything down. We went to Halloween.
And I bought everyone fanny packs. That wasn't with you?
That was not with me. That was before I even moved here.
Man, in my head, you're walking alongside me.
Forever, babe. We're swimming, even when I'm not there. I'm swimming next to you, babe. Right?
That's crazy.
We're at the front of the boat.
I have like this vivid memory of you us being at Six Flags together.
It never happened. See that?
Shit.
See, that's
Mandela.
That's why you believe no one.
Trust no one. Where's my poster for that?
Trust no one. You want it? We could do. That could be a pod. We could do emails with Jamie next week, right?
Yeah, we can do.
Unless you have one you wanted to do for some reason.
No, well, here's the thing: is like I feel bad because a lot of these are for all three of us, so I feel bad reading them when Jamie's not here.
How long we've been recording? 54 minutes.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Did you just guess that?
Yeah.
It's 54 minutes exactly. It was like 54 mints and 2 seconds.
I'm a big time guy.
You're a big like minutes and seconds guy.
You ever see Rob with his fucking minutes and seconds?
If you guys are watching this on YouTube, click that subscribe button. Click that notification bell. That way you'll be alerted when our videos go live, which is every Tuesday. We got a subreddit, r/Pajama Pants Podcast. We got an Instagram. We're also on TikTok. Jamie and I are on Instagram and on TikTok. Rob's off the grid, so don't even try it.
I'm off the grid.
He's off the grid.